Okay, so just to, talking about the challenge that we've been talking about with you today, I was just thinking how it was similar to something that I could liken it to something that happened to me last night. I left work last night, and as usual, I pick up my daughter on the way home. I got home, it was about 6 o'clock, and there's never enough hours in the evening to be able to do everything we all want to do, right? And so my husband and my son weren't home yet. I said to my daughter, what do you want to eat for dinner? It's the same routine every night. And my daughter said, I want mac and cheese. And I was thinking, okay, well, I don't think we have mac and cheese, but okay, let's wait and see what everybody else says when they get home. So my son and my husband come in. My husband wants steak. And my son, fortunately, wants mac and cheese too. But I want salad. And so we have a problem, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, let's go see what we got in the refrigerator. I open the refrigerator doors, and my refrigerator is suffering right now from the fact that 9 months ago I signed up to one of those community-supported agriculture programs. So my fridge is actually just full of kale and nothing else. So it's pretty clear that I'm not going to be able to feed the different needs that are in my family at that point in time. So my solution is either I feed them with the kale, which is not going to make anybody happy, or I go to the supermarket, which is going to take time and it's going to cost a bunch of money, and see if I can feed people that way. Or we're going to do number 3, which is what we ultimately did. Number 3 is what in our house we call FTTF, which is fastest time to food. And it's get in the car, we're all going to Red Robin. And at Red Robin, we get to feed the various needs that we have in the family. And it's a little bit like the challenge I think that you face today, which is, you have your debug, your EMI, your compliance needs that you're needing to deal with. And what you ultimately need to be able to handle all of those things is you need to find a way of quickly and simply feeding your test and your test setup needs so that, so that you can do it there. Yeah, my notes are not helping. So that you can do it in one stop. You just have to go one place to get the solution that you need to resolve the challenges that you have ahead.
So Lars, besides just trying to make you hungry with the story about food, what we'd like to highlight for you today is how a single test setup can really simplify and speed your time to set up test as well as your actual test time. So on my way in, I was talking with your team and I noticed that they go over to one test setup to do 802.11ad compliance testing. So they go over to the test setup, your team will set up their device, that means making adjustments, doing de-embedding, and really just putting effort into doing setup, all so that they can run compliance test. But then they need to go over to a different test setup, and again, connect up the device, make the necessary adjustments, do their de-embedding so that they can run spectral compliance. However, if they find that they have a problem, so if something's not right on the compliance testing for 802.11ad or over in spectral, then they have to go to yet a different test setup to run debug. So again, you're looking at having to connect up to a device, make necessary adjustments, do the de-embedding, all so that basic debug tasks can be run to find out where the issues lie. However, because you've moved between 3 different test setups, you run the risk that the problem you saw over here, you're not seeing over here. So what happens if instead you're able to do a single test setup to do all 3 of these? So now instead you're connecting to your device once, you're making your adjustments, your de-embedding. You're now able to move through your 2 different types of compliance tests. If you find problems, you can then move into debug. So this is something that Tektronix uniquely offers with our SX scope. So we are the only ones in the industry that can give you this. And in addition, because we go up to 70 gigahertz, You're able to do this today not only for AD, but when you move over to AY, you'll be able to use the same test setup that your team is now familiar with. And of course, Tektronix offers you local support so that this is easy to set up, and if you have questions, we're located nearby. And we have the ability to do automation through MATLAB if you'd like to go ahead and automate some of the tests to make it even easier on your team. So I think, David, you wanted to share something.
Yeah, it reminds me of an example with the iPhone. Joe, do you have your iPhone?
I do.
Which phone do you have?
I have the iPhone 6S.
Oh, may I see it?
What are you going to do with it?
I'll give it right back.
Okay.
So I have the 6 now. I started off with the iPhone 4, and when I first got the phone, I added a lot of applications to it. And so it was interesting because it became a valuable tool for a lot of different things. And at some point, my iPhone 4, it became obsolete. The operating system stopped, right? They stopped supporting it, so I had to update. So I actually went to the 6. This is nice. I like the 6S. So I actually updated to the 6S. And for me, it was a pretty smooth transition. How was your transition updating to the 6S?
It was pretty seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the update was seamless. It was really easy. Now that Apple has introduced the 7, I'm actually real excited and not worried at all about updating to the iPhone 7. So how that really relates back to this is with the confidence I have of going from the 6 to the 7, it's kind of like going from AD to AY. Really easy transition once you have the single platform that can address all of what you're doing.
Give it up,